Starting. Hey everybody, I'm so sorry about the delay today. We had several things that were going on that made starting at 1 challenging, and then apparently starting at 2 was also challenging. So we are here with Melissa Toffelmoyer, WildCare's Wildlife Ambassador Program Manager, and of course, our able assistant, Sequoia, the northern spotted owl. She's so funny, she's so calm. What are we talking about today, Melissa?
So today we are going to talk about food and nutrition for the animal ambassadors that we take care of here at WildCare. So start off, this is Sequoia. If you're not familiar with Sequoia, she is the northern spotted owl. She's about 15 years old, and we got Sequoia when she was a baby, or what we call an owlet. And what had happened to her, she fell out of a tree. And when she fell out of the tree, she injured her wing. And she injured her wing to the point where she can't fly silently. And to fly silently is what she needs to hunt to survive in the wild. So that is why she is at WildCare.
Yeah, it's such an interesting injury. If she were a pigeon, she might have been releasable.
Yeah.
But the need to be able to fly silently is what rendered her non-releasable.
Yeah, she's too noisy, and she's really great because she's an owl, so she stands really still, so I can actually do two things at once with her, but she's also a great assistant.
She also stares aimlessly off in the direction that is not toward the camera.
And she's a little bit more awake today.
Yeah,
So let's go ahead and start off with, since we're talking about raptors here, go ahead and start off with the mice over here. This is about a pound, a little over a pound of mice that the raptors and the opossums eat a day. So a little over a pound. Sometimes we get our mice donated, and sometimes we have to buy it. If we wanted to break this down on how much it would cost, it's about $14 a day.
$14 a day, and this is just for the ambassador animals,
correct?
Just for the ambassadors. Not for the animals in the wildlife hospital. That's expensive.
It does. It gets very, very expensive. A lot of little beaks to feed, as we say. Now, we would love to provide all the nutrition that they would get in the wild. Unfortunately, we don't have access to all that, so we have to dust some of their food with supplements. Okay. This is a supplement that we put on top of the raptor food, just what would be like a multivitamin.
I love that it's called Vitaraptor.
Vitaraptor, I know, right? It's got a great picture of a peregrine falcon on there. This is a good brand. There are several other brands, but I prefer this one. And this is something new that we've started to do with our turkey vulture and our American kestrel, is they have a touch of arthritis. So we have researched essential oils. Veterinary essential oils. So we are trying some of that, and we are also just giving a couple of drops on the food right there. It works out pretty well.
So it's edible, so it's not a topical thing.
It's not, yes, it's edible, and it smells like peppermint.
All right. What do they think of that?
Vlad is not a fan.
I bet.
Because he's so sensitive
to
smells.
But you says it does make him feel better.
Oh, yeah. It takes a couple of weeks to see any results, but he is definitely moving around a lot better. We just started our kestrel on this.
Nice.
So we go through a lot of different research. If they have problems, obviously they're in long-term care. That's not something that would happen out in the wild. Lifespan's a lot shorter. So as we keep these animals in captivity a little bit longer, they're more susceptible to arthritis or any other aging conditions.
Sure.
Now this is interesting. This is what the 2 pelicans and the gull eat in one day. This is 3 pounds of fish. We have our night smelt here, and of course our herring here, and this is about $15 a day.
Wow.
And we don't get this donated. We actually have to pay for this one.
Right.
So,
and I know we had a hard time getting the night smelt for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is, it depends on how much they've caught, if it's available. Smelt has become a very, very big problem as far as population decline in the species, and locating smelt, and then buying in larger quantities. And the herring, we're lucky that we found a really great supplier. This is from Ron at North Bay Meats, wonderful man to work with, and provides all of our fish here for our pelicans and our gull.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is, and it is comes in about 25 pound solid block of ice, and I have to defrost that. And this comes in a 10-pound block of ice that I have to defrost. So I smell really lovely at the end of the day. I smell like
don't we
fish.
All? Yes, exactly.
And again, we have to supplement their nutrition, and the way that we do that for the fish is we have tablets that we stick in the fish every day.
Large bird supplement.
Large bird
pelican.
With
Elizabeth, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's a wonderful donation. Thank you.
And then, of course, like we said, aging animals. Herman, our little Heerman's goal, is over 22. She might be 23 this year. Mm-hmm. She also has a touch of arthritis, so we do dust her food in Cosequin, which helps with their
That's
arthritis.
Supposed to help.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. I know a lot of people give that to their dogs.
Yes, a lot of this stuff you will find for cats or dogs or ferrets or rabbits. Then we move on to our mammals here. This is a diet that we give our Oakley, our eastern fox squirrel.
Oh, yeah, that looks delicious. Look at that. Mm-hmm.
So we've got some lettuce, some jicama, carrots, green beans, veggies, just a tiny bit of fruit. We don't want to give them too much fruit. That's a lot of sugar, but he happens to like watermelon, and we keep that frozen and give it to him on a nice cool day. This is a combination of different nuts and again, going back to the nutritional and the supplements, this would be what his little multivitamin would be.
Okay.
We get this off of Amazon. This is what I believe it's called Wild Bites. So this is what he'll eat in a day.
Okay. So that's Oakley's meal for the day, and that's just once a day.
That's just once a day. This is what the opossums, Luna and Betty, eat in a day. So we have their protein, which would be the mice here. We also can supplement that with fish. Mm-hmm. And
I have a distinct memory of Luna with her hand holding her little front paw holding that fish and narfing down on it.
She
loves so incredible. If anyone wants a bright spot to your day, scroll down through the videos at discoverwildcare.org/virtual. That's where all of our videos are, and look for the one with Luna the opossum snarfing down her fish. She's wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing to do. And I mean, it's a good tactile for her to do as well with, and that's what we can cut these up or we can give them whole. Again, it's another part of enrichment. Food is enrichment. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a similar diet here to the squirrel. Well, actually is the exact similar diet, but the only thing I've done is I've added a little pellets called insectivore, and those are just ground up mealworms, because they love mealworms as well.
All right.
Again, watermelon is something they really love. It's great to give during the hot days that are coming up.
Sure, absolutely. Sequoia does not like watermelon.
No, she does not.
Sequoia
if it
likes
comes in a mouse form, sure, she'll eat it.
Exactly.
Then for our California quail here, we have a quail mix mixed in with a dove mix of different seeds here. We give him some broccoli, some lettuce, and we just give it whole like this. He likes to pick it off. And of course, this is for our acorn woodpecker cache.
Oh yeah, pretty.
Everybody's favorite busy guy. So we've got some Zupreme fruit blend, acorns, of course, some nuts, and again some insectivore because they do eat insects. Mm-hmm. And then down.
I'm guessing all of those acorns are going to end up in the holes in Cash's enclosure.
Oh, he's got thousands of them.
Oh, he does.
I want to see I want to take a video the day that I take those down to replace new ones. I want to see how much comes out. It's probably like a
terrifying.
Yeah, like the lottery come down. This is what Mojave eats.
Wow.
He's our herbivore, and he'll easily eat this in a day. And we also dust his with a vitamin as well.
Oh, very cool. Excellent.
In the wild, Mojave desert tortoises can eat up to 43 different species of plants.
Wow.
So we're only able to offer a few, so we definitely want to put some supplements on there. We also, if there's a calcium problem, we can dust him with calcium as
I know that's frequently a problem with reptiles in captivity, so that's a good thing to be able to do. Yep.
Yeah. And then down here is what our western pond turtle Marla eats.
It's so funny. She's such a voracious little carnivore.
Yes, she's supposed to be an omnivore, but she doesn't eat. She's the world's first carnivore turtle. That's it.
Purely carnivorous turtle. That's so funny.
And this is what our king snake and our rosy boa get, and they get it once a week.
Of course, yeah. Your snakes don't need to eat every single day. That makes perfect sense.
Right. And so for Sequoia, based on how much she eats a day, it's about $10 a week to feed her.
Really? Mm-hmm. So how many mice is she getting a day?
She's getting about 60 grams or more, so that turns out to be like 3 or 4 mice, depending on the size of the mice.
Yep.
And definitely to keep this all in mind, it also is vary upon the season. So if we're in winter, we're going to feed them more. Or when they're molting, which is where they're dropping and they're growing in new feathers, they're going to eat more, or breeding season. So their amount of food that they get changes throughout the year, which is what would happen in the wild as well. So
I love it. Well, Melissa, thank you so much. This has been such an interesting look at one of the primary considerations of keeping WildCare's educational animals, our wildlife ambassadors, healthy and doing well. And it's so fun to learn the back all the secrets, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
And you know, it's definitely when kids say, "Oh, I want to do what you do," I'm like, you know, most of the time I am feeding and I am cleaning up a lot of poop.
Yep.
So you got to be okay with feeding all this out and getting it ready. And again, this is just a daily meal for them.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do. I find
7.
that fascinating. Yeah, so this is 1 day's worth of food for not even, or for all, is this all of the ambassadors?
This is it.
So this is all of the ambassador animals. Well, that is a tremendous amount of work that you and your team do every single day to keep these guys healthy. Let's have a quick zoom in on Sequoia here again. Beautiful bird. She's so funny. I wonder what she's looking at. She is definitely interested in something over here. She's so funny. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. Such a fun thing. We'll be back next Wednesday. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Stay well. Wear your face mask. Wash your hands. And we will see you next week. Thank you. Thanks, Melissa.
Bye.
Thanks, Sequoia. Blink.